Hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio station, home to the Asian Oprah, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, JioSaavn, Podchaser, and more. How do I remember? I don't know. Actually, there's like 28 more that I can't add to that memory string because I do have photographic memory, but I am out of disk space. But I know that you have all been such a tremendous support now. Coming on 11 years, May 1st. 2012 was when I started. We are on podcast number, here it comes, 898. Good number. And 560, what it is, I write it down so I won't forget, but I think it's 566 7 consecutive weeks on the air. And I'm so grateful that those people who said that a positive show that did not have gossip, scandal, or K words, Kanye talk at all, would not survive. And I'm still grateful that you're wrong and that I'm still here. And even though I'm in Canada right now, I'm still able, thanks to technology, to broadcast live from Toronto and bring my guests on who are streaming live from Hollywood, I believe, or somewhere in the vicinity. I am so grateful to have on today a man who I actually, it's funny how you see people on social media or people invite you to be part of a group that I didn't even know or understand. And I'm guessing that you invited me to your Meet the Biz group. He's the founder of that, so that I could be through Geri Jewell is my guest, because I got to interview her. Let me tell you a little bit about David Zimmerman. He's been a casting director for projects for Showtime and for Joey Travolta's Inclusion Films, acted in the film Meet the Fockers. Don't worry, I'm not going to get dinged on that. It is Fockers. Coached on the set of hit TV shows such as Nip and Tuck, taught at Performing Arts Studio West, very well-known place, produced and hosted a show and workshops called Meet the Biz, and is an advocate, this is the most important thing, for inclusion of all in the entertainment industry. You all know how much I love valuing diversity. He's also been on the writing staff for the Ability magazine, and his award-winning film, Honey Bunny, is now traveling the festival circuit. Most importantly, he just was a recipient in the prestigious Media Access Awards for the SAG-AFTRA Disability Awareness Award, and that was presented to him by my wonderful friend, past guest, Geri Jewell. You'll remember her. She's the first disability actress to get a role on The Facts of Life, and then you may have seen her in Clint Eastwood's Deadwood as well. But she gave the award to David, and I went, it's time for him to come on the show. So please welcome to my studio, David Zimmerman. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me. This is
course
wonderful. Yeah. I remember Geri being on your show, and I thought, I love this woman. You just glow. You have this smile, and inside that smile, it is a soul that just shines. So.
Aww. Back at you. I just love, that's one of the occupational hazards of this show, is meeting the myriad of people. And I think I can think of only one guest that I wouldn't want to be, friends with or have that connection with. I'm not going to say his name. His initials are, no, I'm just kidding. But I mean, every single guest of mine in the past 898 podcast shows has been, interesting, fascinating. And there is probably a good 33, or I would say more than that, people who I'm friends with now. Like,
Wonderful.
as a result of them, Dawn Wells and I became really good friends, and I miss her in her physical form, although I hear her laugh all the time. And Amy and I talk about that. Her past assistant, let's see, who else is like best friend? Layla Ali, Alon Carter, who's now a co-host. I mean, there's just so many people who I'm so blessed to have them, as I consider Geri a friend. I think she considers me a friend as well. And now you're the new one to add to the bunch, even though in the background we probably have already, done all that.
Right. Well, it is interesting. I mean, I just started this little Meet the Biz show Meet the Biz has been around since 2008, but during the pandemic, I was teaching at Performing Arts Studio West, and they said, okay, we're online now because we're all at home. So that's when I started the Meet the Biz online. And that's how I kept sane during the pandemic, because for 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, I would do Meet the Biz show. And I learned from that. I grew from that. I connected, like you said, connecting to people. And my God, so many shows you've done. I've done a little over 350. And I've cut it down now to one new one a week. And I was going, how did I do 5 a week?
I hear you. And as much work as it is, it's really the benefits way outweigh the consequences.
Oh, it kept me going during that time, because trapped into this one bedroom apartment in the land of La La, and not being able to get out, I could connect with people. So it was wonderful.
Yes, it was. And that could be your first gratitude. We start the show here with breakfast. And this morning you get to have breakfast with Dr. Marissa and David Zimmerman. And the way it works is you have your top of the bun is 8 specific gratitudes, things that are outside of yourself. And then we go to the bottom of the bun, which is things that you appreciate about yourself. And normally you do the bottom of the bun last thing in the day. So gratitude's first thing in the day, the appreciation at the end of the day before you go to bed. But because it's morning and I'm not staying here until you go to bed, we are going to model what it is that you're going to do tonight before you go to bed. And David was kind enough to agree to do this. I always see how willing and malleable and flexible my guests are when I meet them first in the tech check. And he kindly said, yes, I'd love to do it. So your first gratitude is Meet the Biz. My first gratitude is I had a brilliant afternoon with my 2 great nieces tubing. And I'll be putting that video up today of me screaming coming down that hill. So that was fun. That was my second time ever. I do everything once. I have actually done it once before. I'm doing it twice. So that'll be fun for you to see on my social media, Doc Balance on Instagram. I just found out, I meant to ask you yesterday, a lot of you know I'm in Toronto. My mom's in palliative stage right now. So I come every quarter for a couple of weeks and help her out. And so that's why I get to broadcast out here. And so I'm a little like, things that are like the not deal breaker things, but things like, oh, I meant to get your Instagram, but you're good. I'll tag you after the fact. So yeah. All right. And your turn.
Well, your what you just said shot me right to my next gratitude, which is my mom. And I'm actually right now living with her at this moment. And she's turning she's turning this was it no next week she's turning 97. So it's
Wow.
I'm so grateful and full of love that I get to be with her at this time.
That's wonderful. Wow. Mine's 88. I have a bonus mom and dad who are 90 and 93, but 97. That's something.
It's something. It's surreal. It's amazing and wonderful, and this time is loving and precious, and I'm breathing it in.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see if we have time to talk about life and death and eternalness and all of that later. But I want to make sure we get through all of this. I know this show is I'm gonna have to work it not going over.
Right.
All right. I am grateful for. I'm grateful for the snow that I get to visit. It is truly beautiful to watch it come down. It's truly beautiful to see it. There's probably a foot of it when I look around now, and it's really beautiful. And I'm going to tag on an extra gratitude, which I think will be my last, is that I get to visit. I actually was born in Canada and I left because I'm solar powered. I need the sun and the sand and the water.
Yeah.
Not a lot of that here, a lot of snow. So it's beautiful to come and visit.
Oh, I love that. I'm just I'm ricocheting off, bouncing off of you and thinking, what if outside snow? And I love walking outside in the early morning, taking morning walk, getting the fresh air, hearing the birds. And I feel like a lot of times they're talking to me like, good morning. Good morning.
You're as weird as I am.
Yes, I am.
I love one of my favorite things in the world is being able to hear birds that sing for no reason at all. Yeah. Wouldn't it be great if we all sang for no reason at all?
Oh, it would make the world much better.
What the world needs now is love,
sweet love.
Yeah. I knew you would do that. That's good. It's funny. Alon Carter is the daughter of Otis Williams, the founder of the Temptations.
Yeah.
And she cannot sing. I mean, she admits it, and her father says mean things about her voice. But anyway, so I can't sing with her, but I can sing with you today. So that'll be good. All right. Now we're going to go to the bottom of the button, which is, what do we like about ourselves? And this is something, I don't know about you, David. I grew up with really strong criticism, really strong. Part of my culture is the nail that stands up is hammered down. And so, to say something good about yourself goes against all of that, as well as some American, don't toot your own horn, you're not all that. And as a result of that, which is all well-meaning, but sometimes it's more mean than well, we don't know our worth. We live with the critic driving our life car, and we don't have that balanced perspective of ourselves. We get 99 99 compliments, one insult. We go to the insult, and especially in your field, I'm sure that that's even more important for you to be able to say what you're good at and love and care about that base. And my whole mental health foundation, I believe, my belief system is that we are, when we can approve of ourselves and we know how great we are, I'm fabulous 88% of the time, 12% of the time I step in it. But if I know who I am at the core of who I am, and it's great most of the time, then I'm going to have really good relationships. I'm going to have really good days. I'm going to have really good things happen to me because I'm not beating myself up all the time. So that's why we do the bottom of the bun. So 8 things that I like about ourselves. We're going to do tag team again. I'll start. I love the way that I can I put a life jacket on every morning with a silver lining. And I No, I'm going to do two. I am a I'm a pronoia specialist, which is the opposite of paranoia. So I have trained my mind to choose something that's the best feeling thought. That's from Law of Attraction, Abraham Hicks.
Mm.
And I look for the bright side 88% of the time. So I appreciate those two things about myself.
I love how you say 88 because eight's like my favorite number, and I'm like, I want to find out about this 88%.
Good. I'll
I'm
tell
so
you.
about that.
But do your appreciation first.
My appreciation about myself, and I've just learned this in the last year pretty much, or I've come more into it, is to accept the love, accept the hey, that was wonderful about you. And it's like, oh, okay. And I'm starting to take that in more. I went to a class years ago with Corey Allen, and he was all about, I used to give, oh, I love to give, I'm a giver. But he taught me more about the
Receiving.
flow. Yeah, receiving, and it all comes. So I've learned to really, even just this last year, receive more.
Good. And one more, because I did two.
Oh. I'm trying to think that it's a hard one for me.
My case in point. Okay, so what compliment have you gotten that you say thank you, and then inside you're like, well, if they really knew me, I don't know if they would say that, which is a common reaction from perfectionists, and I can tell you're a recovering perfectionist. Yeah. So,
I think it's there's certain things I'm constantly busy, but then there's this possibly a project that I'm working on that's taking too long, and people said it's okay, it's going to come in its own time, and for that second I go, yeah, it will come, it's coming in its own time. And then then I start beating myself up again. So it's like, no, it should happen now. Yeah. So just taking that moment to breathe and to realize that I am here for a reason, especially after a heart attack 10 years ago.
Ooh.
So there's a force out there that is keeping me here. And I just realized from what you said, there's a force in here that's keeping me here.
Yes. And your recognition of that is what you appreciate, is that I hear that you're appreciating that you're a work in progress and in process, and that you're learning how not to beat yourself up. So those are your two that I heard. And I'm affirming that for you, because this is why I do the bottom of the bun. It's easy to give gratitude about things outside of yourself. It's easy to notice what's good about other people. But people like you and I who find it uncomfortable to receive, that is truly, and your teacher, that's the law of reciprocity. If you think you can give and just be a giver and a service person, you will lose your life force. Not lose it, but you're going to block the flow. Yeah. You cannot continue to exhale without inhaling. How's that?
Oh, I like that. I thought of that mask in the airline, but I love the way you said it.
Yeah, thank you. I can't remember where I got it from, so I'll take credit.
Okay. Fine.
And that's the bottom of the bun. And thank you for playing along, because if you can't fucking approve of yourself, how can you expect other people to approve of you? So we specifically do this exercise so that we do not go looking for love in all the wrong places. And with social media and all of the likes and looking for likes, literally, it's really a derailer for your ability to be solid in your balance through life. And yes, Just breathe, just breathe. Yes, and I'm gonna try to. I'm borrowing my my studio's in my brother's office, and his wife is communicating. I want to turn that ding ding off so that you. Yeah,
It's an accent.
Yes, it is. Well, if I can't find it, I can't find it. But so anyways, 88. Why do I use 88? Because 8 is a lucky number. In Chinese, it's a homophone for good fortune. And perfectionists have this elusive 100% that they continue to try to hit, which they never will because they're human. Human means you cannot be perfect. But if you think you're perfect, you're really screwing yourself. So 88% means double good fortune. 8 is a fa. Fa is 8. Fa is good fortune. So 88 is double good fortune.
That's gorgeous.
So I think you might be Chinese somewhere back there. If 8's your favorite number.
I think so. I've in one of my past lives. Or present.
Exactly. And that's it for Breakfast with Dr. Marissa and David Zimmerman. Happy 88 challenges that you do this 30 consecutive days. And I promise if you start with your gratitude sandwich every day and end with your appreciation, you will wrap your day in the most positive way. Sounds like a commercial. I like that. I don't think I've said it that way. I'm going to have to remember I said it that way. All right.
That's great.
And now I'd like to play a little something which caught my attention, which led to the invitation of David here on the show. Enjoy.
Welcome to the 2022 Media Access Awards, presented by Easter Seals.
Now, to present our next award, the SAG-AFTRA Disability Awareness Award, is the legendary actor who was the first disabled performer to be a reoccurring character on an American primetime TV series way back in 1980. This show was Norman Lear's The Facts of Life. She later starred in HBO's classic, Deadwood. Her name is Geri Jewell.
Hi, I'm so sorry I couldn't be with you today. I'm sandwiched between two critical writing projects, sandwiched in between without the lettuce, the tomato, and avocado, but nevertheless sandwiched between these critical writing projects. But I want to talk about my dear friend and partner in crime, David Zimmerman. I met David in 2006 when he taught a class with Corey Allen for actors with disabilities and without disabilities. He also does a wonderful weekly series called Meet the Biz. He's done that. He's an acting coach, casting director. He's done everything. My God, he teaches at the Performing Arts Studio West. I mean, I could go on and on about his achievements, but why don't we just look at some of the things that he's done right now?
Welcome to Meet the Biz with Lane Mazan. The first time I met you, hi.
Oh, I love you.
Why would you say that?
I want to make you happy.
You can use the same words. You have to get the hug from her. And each time you do it, you're in a different breath and a different moment. When did you both meet each other.
At the second annual Media Access Award.
I love that.
We have a little surprise for you today. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Surprise!
It's so important to take classes. I mean, so it just seems that a lot of people these days who want to be actors think, oh no, I just can do it.
Or I'm just beautiful.
You know.
What's so great about this life?
We as an audience identify with what you're going through because we at times in our lives have that same experience. But you could use all that stuff in your work. And that's what makes it powerful.
It is my absolute pleasure to present the 2022 SAG-AFTRA Disability Awareness Award to my friend, David Zimmerman.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Geri. And thank you, SAG-AFTRA, PWD, National Committee, and the Media Access Awards. This award means so much to me. It means inclusion, and it means acceptance of others and self. I have a heart that wants to move forward, whether I am casting or directing or producing. I feel that I need to include everyone in the work. And this is what this is about. The acceptance of all. When I created Meet the Biz several years ago, I wanted to bring in, and I did bring in, all actors to work together, to create with one another, to get the auditions, to get the jobs. There are a few people I have to thank. Mary Rings from Born to Act Players. If it wasn't for her and Born to Act Players, I wouldn't be on this journey. And Inclusion Films, Actors for Autism, and John Paces from Performing Arts Studio West, my extended family. And it's all about all of these people, all of these groups that make this all happen. The doors have opened, and I want to see more acceptance and respect the individualities of each person. And that's all of us. All of us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love this.
Wow. That's so, how did you feel watching that?
It was a journey to watch that. It was, it pulled at my heartstrings. It also, it was back to that acceptance, acceptance and saying, oh, thank you. Thank you.
Receiving it.
And seeing Geri, I mean, I love that woman so much. I mean, we probably were married in several lives. And if we could be married in this life, we would be. We sort of call each other, oh, you're my husband, wife kind of thing, but not really, but really, I don't know. It's so good to have friends like Geri Jewell, because she keeps me breathing, talking about the breath.
Please give her my love the next time you talk to her.
I will.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We're going to have her on again.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, for sure. So, okay. I mean, look at timing, because I know we tried to get you on before and it didn't work, but the timing is perfect now because we just had a really great Academy Awards. I have to say, it really was the finesse. And I got to interview him for a soundbite, Dennis, last year in July or June. And it was so funny. He said, you're the Asian Oprah, then I'm the Puerto Rican Jerry Lewis. But he did, I believe, a phenomenal job in the way he dealt with what happened last year, you know, so that it was funny but poignant as well. Okay. And I loved the dance off, you know, instead of just the music that was going to take the presenters off, the dance off. I was really hoping that was going to be continued through the entire thing, but I thought that was brilliant. I'm going through my favorite moments now before we talk about inclusion. But starting with that. And then I will say the one, and I don't usually talk about things that I don't like, but I do have to make this particular reference known. I am horribly disappointed in the Academy for one exclusion that I cannot believe that Viola Davis did not get a nomination, anything, because I would have said, as much as I love Michelle Yeoh and I'm super duper thrilled beyond thrilled that she got the best actress, but the fact that Viola Davis did not even get a nomination did not escape me, and I don't know if it escaped you. I thought Women King should have had many nominations on there, not taking away from anybody else.
Right.
So that was my negative comment, but the positive ones that I absolutely love were diversity and inclusion. Kay and Michelle, and having Troy come out and talk about, because American Sign Language is my favorite language in the entire world.
Oh, how many languages do you know?
Un petit peu français, so French, because I was born in Canada, and up until the age of 7 it was mandatory in school, still being ageless. Don't go look that up. And then ich spreche Deutsch. Ich habe 3 Jahre in die Schule Deutsch gelernt, und ich bin in Kitchener geboren, which is the largest German community outside of Germany, is in that city. I was there yesterday, and a little bit of kvetching and putzing, because my mom was unofficially adopted by a Russian Jewish woman, my grandma Anna. So I have an uncle Moishi, an Aunt Penny, and Aunt Ethel. Okay.
Oh my God.
And let's see, Italiano. My first boyfriend was Siciliano, so I know all the bad words that I won't say, just in case the FCC knocked for it. But dove sei stato tutta la mia vita means where have you been all of my life in Italian. And then I'm blessed, and I love to sing. And I thank you for all that you've done for inclusion and diversity. And I get to lead the Agape International Choir when we do, I'm not the director, but when we do sign language songs, right? See the best in me, see the best in me in life, right? So I get to lead the choir in those verses, right? Peace, love, joy, right? So I love doing that. It's one of my favorite things. So I love diversity. I love what you do for the diverse actors and actresses. And
well, it's truly my extended family.
So how did that happen? Because you don't look diverse. If I'm going to stereotype.
I'm very, I don't know. I mean, we say, on my website, or when I first introduce performers with and without disabilities, ultimately, I'd love to get away from saying that and just say, hey, we're a family here. We're just, everybody's coming together. And that's what I love about Meet the Biz, is that, it's all inclusive. And I've been, like I said, Meet the Biz started back in 2008, and we've been at Joey Travolta's Inclusion Films, Mary Ring's Born to Act Players. That's where I started off, thank goodness. I mean, I started teaching at the Media Access office years before that, back in 2000, I believe. And that was Gail Ford Williamson, who, what an amazing woman who just is retiring from KMR right now as an agent. And she got me into the Media Access office to teach. There's so many Actors for Autism, and now, of course, Performing Arts Studio West, where we merged Meet the Biz, and we're doing it there. But it's really about, to me, it's about love, and love for what you do, and love for the people you do it with, and the creations that you could come up together with.
And I agree with you that one day it would be great to say actors, period, no actors with disabilities and actors without disabilities, not in that. However, and this is the same question of why do we have Black History Month? Why don't we have Swedish History Month? And the reason is because people with disabilities, people with different abilities have been excluded from certain things, and acting is definitely one of those. Academy got dinged how many years ago for not reflecting the population, not reflecting the world in its nominations, et cetera, et cetera. So why did you personally want to take this on?
I was drawn into it. I was waiting tables when I first got to LA, as any good actor does. And I met Mary there. We were both waiting. She said, come to my class. I finally did open the door, and there happened to be 30 actors who happen to have Down syndrome. And I felt like I was part of it. I was part of that family. And again, I think it comes to the love and positivity. I mean, I found my niche. I found my, more than a niche, it was a family that made me feel like part of it. Because coming to LA, I mean, after a year I was there, I was sitting at a table with, at a birthday party, and there were 11, 12 people there. And I was sitting across from this wonderful woman, and she said, so how are you enjoying in LA? And I went, I haven't learned how to schmooze, you know? And she said, hey, it's not about schmoozing, it's about being yourself. Mm-hmm. And very soon after, just by being myself, I met others who were themselves, and we clicked. Mm-hmm. So, and I don't know if it's about, I just love seeing people succeed. I think, you know, after my dad passed, I was emotionally like burnt out as an actor, because you have to give all this emotion, or you have to allow all the emotion to surface and come out in different ways. I was like, you know, couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. So a friend of mine who at that time said, hey, I'm doing a movie. Would you like to help cast it? I fell into that, became a casting director, worked for Showtime, Penn and Teller's. You can't say the word. And
okay. Thank you.
Penn and Teller's show on Showtime and other. And when I see somebody, whether I'm casting or whether I'm watching a scene in an acting class or coaching someone, when I see somebody really there in the moment, I start tearing up. And that is my like, oh yes, that's it, or that's a callback, right? So, and that connects back to the extended family that I'm with, because they're there, they're in that moment. It keeps me alive.
Beautiful. Peanut Butter Falcon, I think, is one of my favorite movies ever. It gave me the awareness about Down syndrome. And the you know, that was a brilliant film. Have you worked? Who are the from that group actors that you've gotten to work with that have gone in and like Geri, been pioneers in whatever their disability is?
Oh gosh, you know, and they have become my favorite performers, I go, oh, I'm more excited now. You know, I grew up loving the Dustin Hoffmans and the Barbra Streisands, and I still do. Don't get me wrong. That's, you know, in Meet the Fockers, when I saw it was coming out and I saw they were the parents, I said, I'm the love child of the two of them, you know? You know? So, and luckily I got to be some kind of part of that project, but, excuse me, no buts. And, Geri, I love connecting with Geri. We do many different projects, whether it's small or just supporting each other. Kathy Buckley, who's in, I mean, my two favorite comedians in my life, Robin Williams and Kathy Buckley. Always makes me laugh, and such an amazing soul. Jamie Brewer, American Horror Story, of course. I mean, that woman.
She has Down syndrome?
She has, yeah. Well, talking about Down syndrome, yeah, she Down syndrome, and she won awards on Broadway for several shows, and now they're making one of the shows into a major motion picture with her starring in it.
That is so cool.
She is amazing. She is one of my favorite actresses. Talking about Peanut Butter Falcon, I was blessed to meet that wonderful Peanut Butter Falcon. And we were, I got to interview him, but more than that, we connected. In fact, Jamie was there this last year, and Zach Gottsagen, who is the Peanut Butter Falcon. And the first time they met each other, we went out to Yamashiro's, and we had a wonderful dinner there, and they just had this connection. And if you haven't seen it yet, there is a video. Michael Parks Aranda directed it, and it is my favorite music video of all time. And it stars Zach and Jamie, who I think are like, you know, they're going to win Oscars one day. They're amazing.
Are they together?
They're not together that I know of. You know,
okay.
Maybe they're together as friends. I know that they work together.
It's Jamie Brewer and Evan Peters. Did you say?
Evan Peters is one of her co-stars on American Horror Story. Who's an amazing actor. But Zach Gottsagen and Jamie Brewer did this music video together. Just amazing.
How do you spell Gottsagen?
Oh God, I'd have to look that up. Get Gottsa.
Here it is.
Yeah, look up Peanut Butter Falcon.
Yeah,
I'll send you that video.
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now. It's not coming up easily, so but that's fine. That's fine. All right, so you get to work with all kinds of disabilities. Again, this is not I wanted this to be educational for myself, my listeners, my watchers, who may not understand or appreciate sort of the, what are some things that help actors with disabilities not overcome their disability in any way that makes you think that there's something bad about a disability, but uses their disability to enhance something, or where it becomes, like, for me, my BS about autism, my belief system is that autism is not a negative thing, that their brilliance is in an area that we may not recognize, right? Mm-hmm. Like the Rain Man, that kind of, that they're gifted, but not recognized in our school system. How's that? So in all of your experience with, let's say, let's start with Down syndrome, because that was your first, right? People, actors with disability.
I guess so, yeah.
You guess so. So what would you say you learned from that group?
Just the thing that just hit me was how to be me. I think if we're dissecting, I think performers, a family with who happened to have Down syndrome, are themselves. They're loving. They also come from a loving place, and open. I'm more of a hugger, and I really connected to that. And as a teacher or a producer or a creator, I forget about that a lot of times. And I know that I don't want to say, like, people have to accept the wholeness of each person. So yes, I might happen to have Down syndrome or autism or this or that, but that's not the whole of me. That's just a part of me. Or it's like, for me, I might have had a heart attack, but that's just a little part of my history.
It doesn't define you.
It doesn't define me, and
it augments you.
And when I teach, or when I whatever I'm doing with casting or acting, I just bring the person out. I don't, I'm looking at Jamie Brewer. If we're and there's so many, Blair Williams, and there's so many people who have, quote, a disability, that it's about their ability. And I tell you, like I said, Oscars are, there's going to be an Oscar coming up soon for that, because it's humanity. It's humanity within all of us. If that answered your question, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a vast thing. And if you just tuned in and you're wondering who's in my studio today, his name is David Zimmerman. He's an actor, producer, director, and the founder of Meet the Biz, a group that I accidentally became a part of. And it is a group of actors who have abilities and disabilities that are just unique differences that allow them to be expressive in another dimension as well as the regular dimension.
And the diversity enriches the world.
Yes, absolutely. So, and we're just talking about, and I'm asking David to educate us on things around inclusion in acting, inclusion in this whole world that we call the acting and the Oscars, and the raising of people who have expertise in their craft. So that go ahead.
No, it's interesting. The Oscars are like the last big show of the award season. And it's fascinating. It just hit me that now we're starting again by making movies, and we're constantly making movies. But the Easter Seals Disability Film Challenge is coming up this month. And it's all about, you have 5 days to make films, and it's all about bringing someone with a disability in front of the camera as well as behind the camera. And I'm actually going to jump in again and do this again as a producer. In fact, Honey Bunny was created at that challenge years ago. This year is romance, romance. So we have an amazing cast, and it's all about bringing people together. Of course, Shanice, who has sung with Michael Jackson and Kenny Loggins, and she's a Grammy-nominated singer, is one of the stars of this amazing creation we're going to doing, and it's all about coming together.
Beautiful. It sounds like you already have a full cast, but I would love to be in one of those.
Okay, everybody. Okay, we got to get you. You know what? I'm going to connect you with Penny. Penny Wilson is the executive producer that I'm working with, and maybe you could be in one of the scenes here. I don't know.
I would love it. In fact, my producer hat also is intrigued, because I came up with my first short film during the pandemic called PPP, Post-Pandemic Possibilities. It's got one laurel already, so I know it's a COVID silver lining. I had the time and did not realize how much I love producing and filmmaking.
Right.
And I don't know if you've seen my reels, but Meta came in and invited me to be a digital creator. I'm like, what the heck is that? So I've been making money accidentally doing something I love to do, which is creating those little videos that I do from my life and from what I see. So I believe there's a creator in every single person on the planet. I also believe that people who have disabilities have almost an edge up. I think that their level of creativity or level of access to themselves, as you said, they're, people with Down syndrome are, very aware of who they are and have very few filters sometimes, which is a good thing in maybe in acting.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. They could, it's all individual as well. I mean, that's why we have so many different types of people with who are great at one thing and not great at the other. But to create together and to bring it all together is what's the magic.
Yes. I'm going to bring up that website that you just mentioned.
Oh, yes, Disability Film Challenge.
10-year.
Nick Navicki created it, and we have been doing the meetups and greet-ups for the last 10 years, and he's just amazing. But yeah, this we're jumping into it. I know. Let's see, Disability Film Challenge.
This is on the news.
That was the news. It's www.disabilityfilmchallenge.com, I believe.
Easter Seals?
Easter Seals. Yeah, www.disabilityfilmchallenge.com.
Oh, here we go. Oh no, connection's not private. That's not. Oops. Let's see. Here we go. Is that one okay?
Is that it? Well, that's Easter Seals.
Right.
But keep on going down.
Challenge. Here we go.
10th anniversary.
10th anniversary. Yeah. All right. Is there a link there? Vicky's name is there. Let's see. Is there an actual link? Rule. Here we go.
I think you should create your own film.
Yeah.
Dr. Marissa. Hey, if you want, I'll throw you out some. Who knows? Maybe Zach will jump in your film, The Peanut Butter Falcon.
I love it. I love it. Okay, March 28th to April. So you can't start making the film until March 28th. Is that what?
Correct. On March, you get what you do before that is you get your groups together. You get your director, your producer, your writer. You get your cast together. And we've got most of our cast now, our main cast, and so you can get prepared for it. And then on the 28th at 11:01 a.m. Pacific time, they will give you a prop to use in your film, a location, and also they will guide you a little on the subject of romance, what they want to see in the film.
Interesting.
And they've done sci-fi over the years. They did documentaries. So this year's romance.
That's great. This is great. I'm on the wrong website. Hold on.
Yeah, that's just Easter Seals.
Yeah. Sorry, I was on the right one, and then I didn't pull it up. So let me just pull this up really quick. Easter Seals. Here we go. Is that the one?
www.disabilityfilmchallenge.com, I believe.
Okay, let me see if this is that the one? Yes.
That's it. Romance.
Yeah, beautiful. And there's a little. How long is this little thing?
I think that's a 6-minute thing, but there's a bunch of different.
And if you don't know what it is, it's a 5-day.
They actually have another one.
You need to have somebody with it.
That's Nick. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's another video that's like a minute long that really shows what it is.
Okay, oh my goodness, we're out of time.
Are we out of time? Okay.
It's a good thing I looked at the clock. I am so grateful to have had you. I'm going to give you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award for the work that you do. a short one, and we're out of time. Thank you so much for joining us today on Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr.
Thank you,
The
Dr.
morning show.
Marissa.
Thank you. Here we go. It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through, inner peace. Now go and have the best day ever. Thanks, David.
Thank you.